Down early, and I feel like that is where we've seen a lot of these Mariners errors this season is balls that are skipping in the dirt too early from the left side.
1-2, chopper towards second, could be two. McDermott, the flip for one. Return throw is in time. Great turn by the Mariners, Matt McDermott looking really strong at second in his debut. A good flip to Hood, fires it. A clean throw this time to Carter Putz. 4-6-3 double play. The Mariners quickly dispatch the leadoff man.
Yeah, really nicely done by McDermott. Squared it up, took a few steps towards it without obstructing the runner's base path, of course, and a clean flip over to Hood, who makes a throw. Really efficient job by this Mariners infield to clean up a mistake made earlier.
Base is empty for Lyle Miller Green, who swings for the fences and comes up empty. Miller Green had a frozen rope out to press Kavanaugh in right his first time up. A pitch misses low, and Tim, you mentioned before, over his last 5 games has not been smooth sailing for Lyle Miller Green.
I mean, you have to find, solace in the fact that you had good contact off the end of the bat. That thing just tailed towards Kavanaugh as he ran over to make the catch. So a fortunate break for Harwich, unfortunate break for Miller Green. You just got to keep that in your head that you're making contact on the ball, at least early in this one.
1-2 from Raiselman, hit hard on the ground up the middle, and that will end the dry spell for Lyle Miller Green. A 2-out single to center field. That's his first hit in now 5 games. He'll try to generate some 2-out magic for the Anglers.
Yeah, and there you have it. He must have felt some sort of confidence coming out of that last at-bat, and that's what great hitters do, is they understand that even if they're in a slump, they know what their approach is, and they're able to come back and they get it done. Sooner or later, they are able to break out of it, and Miller Green, a guy who I imagine won't be kept down that much longer.
So here's Kenny Lavari. First pitch misses low. Old Dominion product struck out in his first at-bat with the Anglers. Miller Green takes his lead off first. Raiselman comes home. Fastball, that one finds the zone. Very out of Old Dominion, we mentioned earlier. Program that had a really strong season where they won their conference tournament for the first time in program history. Of course, Old Dominion, well known as the alma mater of former AL MVP and two-time Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander. Lavari swings and misses. He's down 1-2.
And, of course, Mariners having their own product from Old Dominion this summer. Holiday was here. Had an excellent showing for Harwich.
No surprise to hear his name called in the 2021 draft. The 1-2, just outside, trying to frame it. Catcher Tinsman doesn't get the call. This will be pitch number 61 for Raiselman. 2-2, misses up and away, and that'll give the runner Miller Green at first a head start with a full count and 2 down.
Raiselman, he's had to work a bit more this inning, for sure. Hasn't been the cleanest, has allowed a hit, and of course, the runner gets on with an error. Definitely his most busy inning.
Payoff pitch is lined down the left field line. It will slice foul. Ball in the gap could certainly tie this game with Miller Green off and running. Raiselman just looking to get out of it and keep this game a 1-0 lead for Harwich. Future LSU Tiger comes set. Payoff pitch. Line drive into left field. Base hit. Lazaro fields it on a hop, and he throws it back in. So a couple of 2-out singles for the Chatham Anglers, and they're threatening, trying to bring home that tying run from second base.
Yeah, these past two hits, each coming with 2 outs as well. If you're Raiselman, just trying to lock in this last batter. You have a guy in Garrett Martin. You struck him out last time you faced him, and Martin on the season as well for Chatham. A guy who's batting .333, but has only had 3 at-bats with 1 hit, so hasn't seen a whole lot of Cape League pitching. A guy you have to feel good about trying to retire.
First pitch is swung on and sent out to right field, high in the air, not deep enough. Kavanaugh over to the line, makes the catch, and Raiselman tight ropes out of the 2-out jam. Anglers strand 2, Mariners stay out in front 1-0 after 4. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Set to begin inning number 5 from Chatham. Harwich Mariners lead at 1-0 over the Anglers. Tanner Witt's night is done for the Anglers. He goes 4 innings, surrendering 2 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2, and struck out 6. He's currently in line for the loss despite an impressive showing. And he will be relieved by another guy the Mariners are familiar with, Alex McFarland, who went an inning plus against Harwich back on July 12th. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned, didn't allow any hits, but walked 4 and struck out 1. So we'll see if McFarland can get that control in check, Tim. 4 walks in an inning plus, certainly not what you're looking for if you're the manager.
It doesn't, but you have to feel confident with this guy going in because of what you just saw from a guy in Witt who's able to come back and have a much better showing second time around against these Mariners bats. And so now McFarland, his chance to come back against a Harwich team and try to perform in a bit of a better capacity here. A tight game, of course, so you don't want to let Harwich get on top of it because this is a Mariners team that has one of the best offenses on the Cape, as they have shown in recent weeks.
So McFarland, the right-hander out of the University of Miami, will face off against Mac McDermott. Struck out swinging his first time up, followed by the top of the order, Chris Newell and Press Kavanaugh. First pitch to McDermott. Uppercut swing, and it's fouled straight back.
Yeah, just again, to talk about the day for Witt, I thought it was pretty good. 6 strikeouts through 4 innings, pitched a lot better than his last outing against Harwich.
They didn't go as deep as he probably would have liked, the same 4 innings, but a very productive 4 innings at that. Swing and a miss. McDermott falls behind 0-2, and that's what we've seen out of Tom Holliday's teams over the last couple of summers. Not a really long leash. You're either going to go 3 or 4 innings. As long as they're good ones, you did your job. The 0-2. Check swing. McDermott went around. He strikes out for the second time in his debut. And it's a quick out number 1 to begin the 5th.
Yeah, Tamez wanted to appeal that down to first because he wasn't sure it was going to be called, but home plate umpire Mark Delaney ringing him up on it. So 1 away here in the 5th inning.
In steps Chris Newell for the 3rd time. Walked and came around to score Harwich's only run in the 1st inning. Watches a fastball at the knees, and he would strike out swinging a second time up. The 0-1 hit well down the left field line, but it will fall in foul territory. Newell, of course, his first Cape League homer at this ballpark. Last time the Mariners came here, there's a high pop-up right side of the infield. Soretti underneath it makes the grab for out number 2. So a much better start to this outing for Alex McFarland than what we saw the last time he took the mound against Harwich.
Definitely, it helps to get your defense involved as well with the fly out to second from Newell. So keeping those guys busy, and definitely for him, getting that first strikeout has to be a huge confidence builder where you're able to get the first guy out and you try to cruise from there.
Excuse me, swing from Press Kavanaugh, and he fouls it off to the left. Kavanaugh off to a rocky start tonight, 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs.
Yeah, and it's tough now because now after you get a read on a guy first 2 times, you have to face a new pitcher.
Pitch misses down and in. Could be a blessing, could be a curse. We'll have to see. I wonder if Kavanaugh might have actually taken, as there's a chopper foul. No, it wasn't actually McFarland that he took yard because McFarland didn't give up any hits in his outing, but Kavanaugh did have a home run as well in that last game between these two teams here at Veterans. McFarland has him 1-2. The pitch, fastball just below the knees at 95.
Yeah, it's good to have that kind of velocity if you're McFarland, but it's about being able to aim it.
2-2 will miss, and the count is now full. Important for McFarland to get Kavanaugh out when he's got him on the ropes with Brock Wilkin looming in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, you don't want anybody on for him.
Payoff pitch is line down the left field line. It is a fair ball going into the corner. Over to pick it up is Martin, but Kavanaugh is into second standing with a huge 2-out double.
Really nice piece of hitting from Kavanaugh, especially being able to battle back in the at-bat. We've seen a lot of really excellent at-bats from Press Kavanaugh. Even thinking back to that home run at-bat he had last time here at Veterans Field, I believe it took about 10 pitches. He fouled off 8 of them in order to be able to finally get a pitch that he could park over the fence in right field. So really nice job being able to fight in that at-bat and finally drive himself to second.
Third double of the season for Kavanaugh, and that sets up Brock Wilkin. A CCBL best 20 RBIs this season, including 1 in the first inning to put the Mariners on top 1-0. First pitch to Wilkin is over for a called strike.
And I don't even know what to say about Wilkin at this point. We've just said every positive superlative there really is to say about him. He's been superb for the Mariners in every aspect of his game.
McFarland will look at second now, the pitch, and he blows by a fastball on Wilkin, who falls behind 0-2. It's the important thing. If you're able to get ahead 0-2 on Wilkin, outcomes are much more favorable. The 0-2. Breaking ball away. Not too surprising to see McFarland try to get him to chase.
Yeah, definitely. And you almost have to wonder if going after a guy like Wilkin in that situation where he's behind in the count 0-2, he has to be expecting something low and away because that's where all these guys like to throw him when they try and get him to chase.
1-2. That one crossed up the catcher. Tamez count even 2-2.
And this seems to happen a lot with Wilkin. If he ever falls behind in a count, he really just does not have to do all that much to even himself out quickly. 2-2 once here.
The pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away, and Wilkin able to work the count full. Despite his high strikeout numbers, in key situations, he really knows how to turn on the discipline.
Yeah, he was behind 0-2 in this at bat, and then 3 straight balls from McFarland makes this a lot more of an interesting situation if you're either team here.
The 3-2. Breaking ball sent high in the air, just behind second. So ready, called off by Rivera, who makes the catch, and the side is retired. So despite a 2-out double from Press Kavanaugh, the Mariners unable to add to their lead. We're halfway through this one from Veterans Field. Harwich leads 1-0. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners Radio Network. Home half of the fifth inning. Veterans Field. Mariners lead Chatham 1-0. Fans, for sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. Eric Raiselman out for his fifth inning of work. Ended up going 5 innings his last outing versus the Brewster Whitecaps, so he's able to get through this inning unscathed. He would be in line for the victory. There is action, however, in the Mariners bullpen. There's a hard ground ball through the shortstop Hood past his dive, and the leadoff man is on to begin the bottom of the fifth for Chatham in the form of Josh Rivera.
I mean, I like the approach. If you're Chatham at this point, you have to be aggressive because you know after the first 2 pitches, you're going to be behind 0-2. So if you're not swinging early to try and get something into the outfield or just get some contact, try to get Raiselman off his mark, then you're resigning almost from that at-bat because he's not going to give you an easy at-bat once he's ahead like that.
So here's Temez. Showing bunt, and the pitch comes up and in and hits him in the helmet. Oh, man. Dominic Temez doubled over, and he's going to fall down to one knee, and that's a scary sight, folks.
Yeah, you never like to see that, especially when you're leaning in for a bunt. Have that thing run in at you. Raiselman, a guy who can throw some heat, couldn't quite catch the number on it.
You can see the concern on the Harwich defense's face as Temez gets up. And I think right now the discussion between Brennan Tinsman, home plate umpire, Mark Delaney, is whether or not he offered at that bunt. The answer is he did not. He pulled it back, and he's going to walk down to first. So Chatham threatening 2 on and nobody out with the top of the order coming up in. Steve Englert's out here to protest Delaney's ruling. It's a very brief conversation, though, and Englert slowly walks back to the first base dugout.
Yeah, Englert just wanting to check in on the situation there, be briefed on it, as I'm sure he had the same thought that perhaps Temez may have offered on the bunt, as the umpires are now conferring.
And they're going to call him back. They said he offered at it. So they will rule that one a strike, and it will be an 0-1 count.
Tough.
Add insult to injury.
That's what I was going to say. Tough break for Tem as you lean in for the bunt. You take it right to the noggin, and then next thing you know, the umpire's telling you you swung. So he'll stand back in, and he'll have to face Raiselman yet again.
So no balls, 1 strike. Josh Rivera standing at first. Dominic Tamez back to the plate.
And now what are you thinking if you're Tamez? You just took a ball up to the head. We've seen a lot of batters at the major league levels who have struggled to come back from that at times. So you hope that Tamez is still able to lock in.
And he does. Rips one down the left field line, a base hit. Rivera rounding second. He's heading to third. He's in there standing. The throw comes back to second, and Tamez is out. Great throw from Jake Lazaro from down the left field line. They gun him down at second for out number 1, but the tying run is 90 feet away from home with Jake DeLeo coming to the plate.
And another tough break for Tamez. Got a pretty good hit on the ball, but wasn't able to get it past Lazaro, who was able to come over and cut it off, and he's got a pretty good arm out there and left. So with the throw, he was able to beat out the Tamez, the catcher for the Anglers, with a lot of time.
Check that. That's actually Danny Soretti at the plate, the leadoff hitter. Mariners bring the infield in. Soretti singled his last time up. Raiselman's 1-0 misses up and away. Right-hander is getting loose in the M's bullpen. Chatham out hitting Harwich 5-3, but still looking for their first run. Pitch to Soretti, right there for a called strike.
And we did have another angle on the incident with Tamez at the plate. It did apparently go off the bat first.
Interesting. Wasn't sure if he just offered at it, but that makes a lot of sense. 2-1, big swing and a miss. Raiselman battling back against Soretti.
Yeah, tying run here if you're Chatham's just 90 feet away, so Raiselman, he's got the stuff to be able to just sit guys down. He has to remain calm here, not worry too much about the guy at third.
Raiselman's 2-2. Fastball fouled straight back. 94, so the velocity still looking strong for Eric Raiselman. He's gone 4 1/3 innings thus far. But looking to get out of this jam. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at third. The pitch. Line drive to left. We'll see if it's deep enough. It's coming in. Diving catch by Lazaro. No, he can't come up with it. It goes off his glove. And the tying run comes home. Josh Rivera touches home. They'll rule that an RBI single for Danny Soretti. And Chatham has tied the ball game. It's 1-1.
Lazaro was so close to being able to pull that thing down, and I thought perhaps for a moment he might have gotten it, but Jim Fonseca over at third ruling that perhaps it bounced off the dirt and just hopped into his glove. It was a very, very tight call. Of course, not the greatest vantage point from where we are. Fortunate break for the Anglers, because I think had Lazaro caught it, he could have had a pretty good jump if Rivera decided to tag up. So otherwise, would not have been a run for Chatham.
First pitch called strike to Jake DeLeo, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. That tying run coming home gets Tanner Witt off the hook. He will officially get a no decision. And that pitch just misses outside, 1-1.
Couple of Tanner Witt fans in the house tonight. Go Commodores.
Had a strong outing, going 4 innings, just the 1 run, given up in the first inning. Got stronger as the game went on. Fastball misses up and into DeLeo. So Raiselman surrendering 3 hits this inning. He'd given up 3 hits through the first 4. Wonder if he's running out of gas. Runner going. Pitch misses low and outside. The throw down on a hop is there, and he is out. What a throw, and Soretti is done. Tinsman able to throw a 1-hopper, a great tag at second, and a big out number 2.
Yeah, really nice job by Tinsman behind the plate, making that throw down to second. It was on the hop, and it almost didn't look like he was going to be able to get him, but the slide from Soretti just missed the bag with enough time for the tag to be applied. So a fortunate out there for your Harwich. Space is now empty for Raiselman.
Count is full, 3-2 to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket Jake DeLeo. Payoff pitch, and it swung on and missed for strike 3. So Eric Raiselman able to battle back thanks to his defense, and he gets out of the inning with a punch-out. Head to the 6th, tie ball game here at Veterans Field. Harwich 1, Chatham 1. You're listening to the Mariners YouTube Network.
Check out the merch tables located on the lower level of the press box. There you will find
6th inning from Chatham. Mariners and Anglers knotted at 1 apiece. And Tim, brand new ball game for Alex McFarland, who heads out for a 2nd inning of work. Remember, the last time these two teams played, that 2nd inning was a huge problem for McFarland as he wasn't able to record an out. This time around, a little different situation, a tie ball game. What do you think the approach is? Any different than what happened first time around?
You just have to be confident, especially with how he came out in that last inning and pitched for the Anglers. You know, it's the same game you've been playing your entire life. You know, you're familiar with being able to go several innings. So I think last time around was likely more of an anomaly for McFarland on the mound. I expect to see a bit more from him this time around. It is now 2nd inning.
1-0 to first baseman Carter Putz, misses low. Putz 0 for 2, grounded out to 3rd, and hit another one on the ground to 3rd, but reached on a throwing error. A lone error of the game committed by the Anglers defense. Putz swings and fouls one off to the right out of play.
Yeah, this defense for Chatham, playing him as a pretty strong pull hitter. You have the 3rd baseman, Lavari, standing pretty tight to the line, and the shortstop in Rivera a little closer to that 3rd base side.
Fastball catches the inside corner, strike 2. We haven't seen a lot of shifts all summer long, but they expect Putz to pull this one to the left side, perhaps after hitting 2 on the ground already to 3rd. But here he swings and misses for strike 3. Alex McFarland looking really strong through an inning and a 3rd, 1 away.
That was a really nice pitch. Putz did not look comfortable. That thing must have just changed direction, had some movement on it that he did not anticipate upon first glance. An excellent pitch from McFarland to keep a nice hitter like Putz off balance.
Dylan Phillips to the dish, 0 for 2, watches strike 1 right down the middle. Phillips grounded out in the 1st, struck out swinging in the 4th. The 0-1. Fastball just missing. Don't look now, but the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 3 outs away from ending that dozen-game losing streak. McDermott swings and, Phillips swings and fouls it straight back.
I had a feeling today.
Yeah, you did mention it, to your credit.
I had a feeling Hyannis was going to break through, and of course, not out of it yet.
It's a good point. A lot of doubters, but credit to you for saying this is the day, and it's certainly trending in that direction. 1-2 misses down and away. Meanwhile, on a more normal note, Bourne with a 3-1 lead over Katuitt as they continue to just wreak havoc in that Western Division. Swing and a miss, back-to-back strikeouts for Alex McFarland to begin the 6th inning as he gets Phillips to swing and miss. Second time that Phillips has gone down on strikes, 2 down.
Continuing his excellence. Really, McFarland, he's a lot more confident in his second inning here tonight than that second inning we saw him and referred to earlier last time these two teams faced off.
He starts off Josh Hood with a swing and a miss. Hood, 1 for 2 with a single. Soon to be NC State Wolfpack member. Count now even 1-1. That is, of course, if he does not sign after being drafted in the 20th round by the Boston Red Sox, but you'd think he might have, at this point, check swing fouled off, and don't think he can go wrong with either decision. Join a quality organization in the Red Sox, get a chance to earn your stripes in the minor leagues, or go to a great organization in NC State that made it all the way to Omaha this past spring. There's a foul ball. Look out into the Mariners' dugout. Doesn't appear to have hit anyone, thankfully.
I think that thing sailed over the head of Brock Wilkin and a few other. That's just the one guy I can pick out who was right in the area.
1-2, swung on and missed. Got him with a breaking ball. How about Alex McFarland? Strong second inning of work. Strikes out the side, swinging in the top of the 6th. To the bottom half we go. 1-1 ball game. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
Pitching.
Bottom of the 6th inning from Veterans Field. 1-1 still the score, and a pitching change for the Mariners. Eric Raiselman's night is done after 5 strong innings, but another no decision. Despite having a strong outing, hasn't quite gotten the run support that some of his teammates have. Regardless, an impressive performance nonetheless. Going 5 innings, allowing just 1 earned run, 6 hits. And he is relieved by Alex Rayo. Rayo, Notre Dame product, looking to keep it a tie ball game going into the 7th.
Yeah, a really solid outing from Raiselman. His first few innings were a bit stronger than his last 2. His last 2 is where he gave up most of his hits. 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and of course that run that he did allow came across in the 5th. He still had the velocity, but I think it just became a matter of control and location, and he was leaving it in places where Chatham was able to make the proper adjustments and hit balls just into the shallow outfield. A couple singles, nothing crazy for Chatham, but enough to drive across a run. So another solid outing for Raiselman, and you mentioned it, the no decision, and it's now in the hands of Rayo here for Harwich.
Tall task for Rayo. Comes in with no record. A 3.00 ERA through 4 games. All appearances out of the bullpen. He also notched a save, has struck out 6 batters in 6 innings while walking 2 and allowing 5 hits. First pitch to Matt Hogan is swung on and missed. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for Chatham.
And for Chatham, you have to maybe find some motivation with how your guy McFarland's come out and battled back.
No question about it. Count 1-1.
You know, comes out, strikes out the side. Does it really effectively as well. A couple of really nice pitches to get each of them swinging.
1-1. Fastball pops out of the glove of the catcher, Tinsman. Rayo. In each of the 4 games he's appeared in, the Mariners have either won or tied. So looking to keep that trend going. This last one came in the 2-2 tie at White House Field against Orleans. Fastball misses up and in at 93, 3-1 to Hogan. Pitch from Rayo. Swung on and missed. Big cut there from Hogan, but he comes up empty.
Yeah, another guy for these Mariners who has some velocity. That one launching in at 93 miles an hour. I think it's for Rayo, though, it'll be about control and location. Can he keep it in the strike zone?
Payoff pitch, a check swing. And it caught the catcher Tinsman on a foul tip in a tough spot. And he gets up quickly, able to walk it off, so they'll do it again.
Yeah, I think that just got him above the left leg pad. Just skipped off of that. Saw him favoring that left side a little bit more. So, of course, Tinsman playing catcher for Levens today, taking over the duties of human target.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the windup and the pitch. Fastball misses down and in. High stepping out of the way is Hogan. And he heads to first base via a leadoff walk. Second time in this one that Hogan has led off the inning by reaching base. Go-ahead run on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th.
It's a very important at-bat here for Harwich. You need to be able to get this out. You don't want to have a guy on Lyle Miller-Green come up to bat who just broke a streak. You don't know what his next at-bat could lead to. You don't want him to have 2 guys on with no outs.
First pitch to Max Romero Jr. over for a strike. He's had a rough night after homering in yesterday's game against Hyannis. Struck out swinging in the first. Grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 4th. From the stretch, Rayo comes home. Breaking ball misses low. Mariners with an important game tonight because they're looking to stay ahead of YD in the standings. Ground ball foul after YD had their come from behind 11-9 victory. That puts them even with Harwich for 2nd place in the division. So they're looking to stay ahead of them while also keeping pace with the Brewster Whitecaps, who are also victorious tonight.
It is a tight East division. Really, everybody has a lot of talent.
Waved at and missed. Romero fooled on that one. And that is out number 1. So a big strikeout for Rayo after allowing the leadoff walk. And as you mentioned before, Tim, Lyle Miller-Green is up there in the top 5 in the CCPL and RBIs on the season. Gets an opportunity with a man on base and a tie ball game.
Something I just want to note real quickly about all of these Chatham strikeouts tonight. So far, 8 on the night. Every one of them has been swinging. They've really been trying to be aggressive when it comes to facing off against a lot of these strikeout pitches.
A lot of that due to Raiselman going right after them, giving them pitches to hit, but they just weren't able to make contact. 0-1 count to Miller-Green out of Chipola College. And Rayo will step off. Of course, Rayo, the hard-throwing righty, a teammate of Joe Boyle's at Notre Dame. Boyle, of course, drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the abbreviated 2020 MLB amateur draft. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Rayo's got an 0-2 count on Lyle Miller Green.
Really speaks of the talent that Boyle had, of course, being drafted first 5 rounds in a shortened draft.
Coming off a strong 2019 CCBL season. There's a high pop-up. It'll stay on the infield. Josh Hood under it to make the catch. Good recovery from Alex Rayo after walking the leadoff man. He quickly gets 2 outs. It'll be up to Kenny Lavari to keep things going for the Anglers. Lavari 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. Rayo, the long look in. That pitch comes inside and gets away from Tinsman, so up to second. It's Matt Hogan, and now the go-ahead run in scoring position with 2 outs.
Tough to allow that to happen. Let the pitch get away. You have to hope here Harwich play some solid defense, get some good pitching the rest of this at-bat from Rayo. Have that try to be as inconsequential as possible. You don't want to fall behind here as we head towards the later innings of the game.
So Lavari, a great opportunity in his debut to potentially be a hero, but here he hits one on the ground to second, fielded cleanly by McDermott. The throw in time, and the side is retired. So Alex Rayo able to dodge a leadoff walk and get out of the inning unscathed. We head to the 7th. All tied 1-1. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. To the 7th we go from Veterans Field. Harwich and Chatham knotted at 1 apiece. Turn the play-by-play duties over to my good friend and colleague, Tim Foley.
Thank you, Colin, as we bring you the final 3 innings here from Veterans Field. And very quickly, I want to jump to the out-of-town scoreboard because something has happened. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks have snapped their 12-game losing streak, winning 5-1 over the Falmouth Commodores. Longest streak of any sort, winning or losing, in the league this season. And the Harbor Hawks are now in the win column once again.
Great to finally see that.
Certainly so, as first pitch delivered to Brendan Tinsman is in the zone for a strike. Other games going on. Bourne won earlier against Catuit. That game ending at about 8:30, 20 minutes ago. 0-2 count now here to Tinsman. YD, of course, beat Orleans 11-9, and Brewster beat Wareham 8-4. So we are the last game going here on the Cape. We still have a decent amount of baseball to play. Down goes Tinsman. Ball gets away from Tamez. Throw down to first in time. That ball just creeping over the shoulder of Brendan Tinsman as he ran down the first base side. Nice throw on the money from Dominic Tamez, and 1 away in the top of the 7th.
Now, that was an excellent throw. That ball got a good 4 or 5 feet away from him, and he had to turn around and quickly turn back to throw it. Couldn't have made a better one. Excellent play, and important to keep that go-ahead run off base.
That is the fourth straight strikeout from McFarland. Fifth straight batter retired. He now faces off against Jake Lazaro, a guy who is 0 for 2 so far today. Struck out swinging back in the fourth inning in his last at-bat. Harwich has been held scoreless as the 1-0 pitch finds its way into the zone. Now 1-1. They have been held scoreless ever since Chris Newell, the first batter in the game, came around to score off of a Brock Wilkin RBI double. For Chatham, they were scoreless all the way up until the fifth inning, where Josh Rivera ended up coming all the way around thanks to a single tried double by Soretti. No, it was Soretti who drove him in. Tamez drove him all the way to third from first. So Soretti had the RBI. And that is where we stand, 1-1. A 3-1 count swung on and fanned by Lazaro. Count now moves to 3-2.
I wasn't a huge fan of that base running in that fifth inning from Chatham. A little too aggressive, especially from Tamez trying to draw that double. Just really changed the outcome of the inning.
Got him looking. Mark Delaney says, yes, that caught the outside part of the plate. Jake Lazaro has some parting words as he heads to the dugout. Nonetheless, that's out number 2, and that is the fifth straight strikeout from Alex McFarland.
Yeah, borderline pitch, but credit to McFarland when you're pitching as well as he has with now 5 straight strikeouts. You're going to get the benefit of the doubt.
McDermott fouls one off into the netting near his Mariners dugout. That is 6 strikeouts now on the evening from McFarland. We were wondering how he was going to perform against Harwich, given how he was last time against the Mariners, and he has been a completely different pitcher as he's ahead in the count here, 0-2 to Matt McDermott, who's already struck out swinging twice so far in this game.
And he didn't give up any hits in his last outing. It was the walks that did him in, so he's a hard pitcher to make contact against when he's able to locate.
Couldn't locate it at 86 miles an hour. Kicks up chalk in the dirt just in front of McDermott's feet. It's now a 1-2 count. One-two pitch skips away. Count's going to move to 2-2 now, just beyond the glove of Tamez.
Yeah, that Hyannis losing streak will be immortalized forever up there with Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak, The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, some of the all-time streaks.
Full count now.
What's the other one? Was it 10 straight national championships for UCLA men's basketball? That's another one we could throw up there.
Full count pitch hit on the ground to Soretti. He'll throw on to first. That will be in time for the out. We'll move now to the bottom of the seventh inning stretch here from Veterans Field. We'll be back with you soon. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Veterans Field. Garrett Martin, the left fielder, leading off for Chatham, and as is the case with a couple of guys here tonight, been a low-scoring one, 0 for 2 right now. Martin with a strikeout and a fly out to right in each of his 2 at-bats so far today. First pitch dealt to him from Rayo, 91 miles an hour, misses, ball 1. Rayo on the second pitch. This one's chopped off by Martin towards the backstop, 1-1.
And you figured eventually the Mariners would kind of fall cold at the plate against Chatham after a torrent 257 team batting average against them through the first 3 games. This time around, different story.
Certainly so, but if you're Harwich, you have to be grateful you're still in it despite a lack of hitting here today. Just 3 hits for the Mariners, and one of those driving in Newell earlier in the game. 2-1 pitch, held off by Martin. Count now 3-1.
Yeah, crazy thing is, 2 of those 3 hits went for extra bases, a couple of doubles.
3-1 pitch, up high, swung on and missed by Martin. Count now runs full, and that's something we didn't really see a whole lot of to start the season, was the power for the Mariners. Not a lot of home runs. I think they were one of the last 2 teams to get a home run. Not the greatest numbers in regards to doubles. Strike 3 called on Martin. Down he goes looking. Strikeout number 2 for Alex Rayo.
Yeah, just 3-2 pitch right there. I think Martin must have been looking for something different because he knew it instantly. The pitch was a good one to hit. Unable to take the bat off his shoulder.
Again, you have to be grateful if you're Harwich. Still into this one. Had an excellent outing from Raiselman. Rayos looked excellent since allowing a walk to his first batter faced. Did a nice job in that last at-bat, battling back. You know, delivered a few balls early in the count, fell behind, kept up with his strikes, and was finally able to get the put-out pitch. This one's put out to center field by Josh Rivera. Back at the fence. Gone! Chris Newell could not make the grab, and Josh Rivera with a swing of the bat puts the Anglers in the lead.
And that ball just kept carrying once it made contact. Rivera hitting that one to the deepest part of the ballpark, dead center field. Chris Newell just ran out of room. Some ballparks, that's staying in. At White House Field, it's probably deep enough where Newell's able to get back there and make the catch, but instead, a monumental go-ahead home run for Rivera.
395 feet to dead center here at Veterans Field, and that thing was just beyond that fence. And now we have a situation here for Chatham. A pinch hitter is in.
Yeah,
Dominic Tamez was the batter who was supposed to be in this spot, and so I'm not really sure if we can call this a pinch hitter because it's a guy who's already in the game. It's the pitcher, Alex McFarland, taking some hacks right now.
Little double switch here, putting the pitcher in to bat for somebody else rather than the DH.
1-2 count against McFarland. He swings and misses. Actually, no, they'll say it was fouled off, so he'll stay alive. Count remains at 1-2. McFarland did not have any at-bats across his career so far at the University of Miami, so last time he swung the lumber might have been high school. 1-2 count, it's fouled off, and I think you can tell that he has not batted in quite some time because the Anglers' dugout is electric right now. They are all on their feet at the railing cheering on this man who has not swung the bat since before graduating high school. It's a 1-2 count. That's going to check off the bat. He's staying alive, Colin. I don't know what else you can say.
Yeah, fouling off some tough pitches to the hard-throwing right-hander Rayo. For Rayo, you just got to keep attacking the zone here despite just giving up the go-ahead home run.
This ball skied up. That's a big pop fly right over the mound. Coming in to catch it is McDermott, the second baseman, so that will be out number 2. One of the more interesting ones we'll have all night.
Yeah, towering pop-up. That ball hung up there for what seemed like forever. Give a lot of credit to McFarland fouling off a lot of pitches and just got under that one. Had he squared it up, could have really shocked the stadium.
So now you have Danny Soretti coming up to bat. And again, we were trying to find some high school stats on McFarland. Could not pull those up for you. Really something to behold. Unsure of what the situation was there. We'll have to see what the defensive alignment is, of course, as manager Tom Holliday coming out here to have a conversation with Soretti. It's a 1-0 count here to Soretti as his conversation ceases with Holliday. I mean, Colin, I want to ask you, what do you think the move is there, the thought process behind putting in a guy like McFarland?
Not sure, but you wonder if it might be because Tamez, remember, took that ball up high, so could be a replacement for him. But I'm not exactly sure why it's McFarland as Rayo able to battle back with a strike. Yeah, I'm a little puzzled as well, but Tom Holliday must have liked something in McFarland, and to his credit, he fought hard in that at-bat.
And we do have some stats here on McFarland when it comes to his high school batting. Batted .444 with 28 hits. On base percentage sitting at around .539. As Alex Rayo will walk Danny Soretti. So a guy who has not taken any swings at the University of Miami got a chance in the Cape Cod Baseball League to take some swings. Really interesting situation we saw just a batter ago. So now you have Jake DeLeo coming up to bat, 0 for 2. Had a walk back in the first inning. He was the first angler to get on.
Get your 50-50 tickets out.
And we're going to have a conversation now here on the mound between Rayo Tinsman and the pitching coach, Steve Gruenberg. Three of them going to converse here. You just put a guy on base. And that's the second walk that Rayo's allowed. Did walk Hogan to lead off the 6th inning. That was, of course, last inning. Now here in the 7th inning, you have 2 outs. You just need one more to get out of the inning. You've already given up a solo shot to Josh Rivera, who belted that thing to dead center. That's probably a home run. I mean, here, that extra 5 feet that you think about Newell would have had at White House Field. Yeah. It was close. It was a close play at the fence. And this field is no stranger to home runs being stolen at the fence. Of course, thinking back to the 2018 championship series between Wareham and Chatham. Wareham, right fielder, the name eludes me at the moment, was able to reach over the fence, make the catch, and help secure the championship for the Gatemen. So this field, all familiar with situations of that variety. First pitch to the batter, DeLeo. Swings and misses, 0-1.
That center field does cut both ways. At Orleans, that's a routine fly out. At YD, it's a towering home run.
Yeah, of course, I did think about that as well. You have about 500 at dead center at Eldridge Park. 0-1 pitch is in for a called strike, 2. 0-2 the count.
It's a crazy difference of almost, I think, 70 feet between YD and Orleans center field. 360 to about 430.
It is about 430, a little more truthfully. Runner goes for second, ball skips in the dirt away from Tinsman. Soretti stands on second, safe. Caught on with the walk and the stolen base.
Back in motion after being caught the last time he was on the base paths in the 5th inning, so. Anglers still staying aggressive on the base paths despite making a couple of mistakes out there.
Soretti, he has been plenty active tonight. Gotten on base 3 times, so now standing on second. This is the furthest he's gotten. 1-2 count. Ball chopped on the ground. Just in front of Soretti, charging a third. Hood throw to first. Safe. Throw was not in time. Hood threw over to Putz. Jake DeLeo, nice hustle to beat it out. Runners on the corners now for Chatham. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, trying to add on another one.
Yeah, tough play for Hood there going to his right. One of those tricky ones between the shortstop and third baseman. Did about as good as he could to make that play, but throw just a little bit late. A lot of credit to DeLeo legging that one out. I mean, he was busting it down the line.
Really nice hustle from the center fielder. Helps to have a guy who's an outfielder in that spot, in that situation where you have to be able to beat out a tough hit. It was a bit of a slow roller over to short, not the hottest shot over. So it's an 0-1 count here to Matt Hogan. Hogan, he's gotten on base twice, once via error, another time via walk. In fact, he was the first batter faced by Alex Rayo, and ball hit over to McDermott, who makes a nice dive to his left to make the catch. Throw to putts to end the inning. Chatham does take the lead. Josh Rivera, a solo shot to dead center, just over 395 feet. We move now to the top of the 8th inning. Mariners going to look to respond. We'll be back in just a minute. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back into White House Field, Veterans Field. Pardon me, we'll be at White House Field in the coming days. And of course, upcoming schedule for the Mariners as we take you through that. Here at Chatham tonight, we'll be on the road tomorrow for our broadcast at Red Wilson Field to face off against the YD Red Sox before we come home to host the Bourne Braves, and then back on the road to take on those Red Sox. So we'll see good old White House Field sooner rather than later. First game of a 2-game road stint here today. And Mariners down to their final 6. Chris Newell leading it off. This is the 4th time through the lineup for the Mariners. Newell so far today 0 for 2 with a walk. He is the 1 run for Harwich. And he's in a good spot here. Nice patience so far. 3-0 count to him.
Just trying to set the table here. Represents a tying run.
The pitch. And he got him. Chris Newell thought he might have been able to help sell it. Was already with the bat flip to the dugout. Had the wrist in motion. Had to hold on to it, however. He digs in for a 3-1 count. The pitch. Fouled straight back. 3-2 now.
You wonder if Steve Englert will go to his bench in this one. He's got Tatum Levins to work with, also Jordan Beck, 2 guys that have been swinging really hot bats as of late.
That is something to consider as the full count pitch dealt in. This one's going to be skied up. Soretti underneath it makes the catch. 1 away.
Nice job battling back from Alex McFarland, who continues to shine out of the bullpen in this game. Fell behind 3-0, able to get the call 3-1, battles back with another foul ball, and then just climbs the ladder. Newell swings right underneath it. Huge out number 1 to start the 8th.
You talk about pinch hitting. It's not something we see all too often from these Mariners. We'll see it a lot whereas Kavanaugh hits a chopper up the middle just over the head of McFarland, and now the Mariners have a man on with one out.
Number 25.
Yeah, just a high chopper. Too far for the shortstop Rivera to come over, and Soretti unable to move to his right to get there. Just simple case of hitting it where they ain't, and now the tying run at first and the go-ahead run in the form of Brock Wilken to the plate.
And just to finish my point here, you know, pinch hitting, not something we see all that often from these Mariners. We'll often see it from the opposition. But you mentioned it, a guy like Levens, a guy like Beck, both out of the lineup tonight. In a tight game like this one where a swing of the bat would do you a whole lot of good, you have to wonder what they might ultimately end up doing, as rain is coming down here now at Veterans Field. Not all that heavy, granted, just some sprinkles. We'll have to see what it may develop into, though. We'll keep you up to date. We'll help you feel like you're right in the ballpark as McFarland checks over on Kavanaugh standing at first. Again, Brock Wilkins standing up to bat. Wilkins' day so far has looked like this. He's got the 1 RBI for the Mariners, had a double back in the first inning, flew out to left, and then flew out to the shortstop. And each of his 2 subsequent at-bats takes a big hack there. It's a 1-1 count now. 92-mile-an-hour pitch on the outside part. That's the pitch that everyone seems to want to get Wilkin to chase after, but he's done a really nice job tonight in particular. Understandable he's fouled out twice, or not fouled out, flew out twice. But he's done a good job hanging off a lot of these pitches that are on the outside part of the plate. Another check over to Kavanaugh on first. He is safe.
And Kavanaugh certainly a threat to run. Leads the Mariners this season in stolen bases. Comes into tonight's game with 4.
One pitch hit on the ground. That's going to get past the glove of the shortstop. Everyone's going to be safe. Kavanaugh on second, Wilkin on first. Now you have 2 on if you're Harwich with just 1 away in the top of the 8th inning.
The first baseman, number 22.
Just another casual multi-hit game for Brock Wilken, which we've seen so many times this summer from the rising sophomore from Wake Forest. And what a big one this could turn out to be. He now represents the go-ahead run. And with 2 on, Mariners with their best opportunity they've had so far against Alex McFarland tonight.
Certainly is so. As Chatham with that home run in the bottom of the 7th inning, this is the first lead that Chatham has had over these Mariners in the past 21 innings between these 2 teams. So it has been all Mariners through the first 3 meetings this season, but in some danger here with still 5 outs to go. But a good position with Carter Putz up to bat. First pitch dealt to him. Gets away from the catcher behind the plate. Everyone's going to advance. Kavanaugh and Wilkin each up 90 feet to third and second respectively. Now you have the go-ahead run in scoring position with just 1 out.
Well, that certainly changes everything. Now the double play possibility is gone, and that's in all likelihood going to bring the Chatham infield in, trying to cut down the tying run at the plate.
Of course, Kavanaugh does not have to run on a ball hit in the infield. He could hold up at third, which would force the infield to make the play over to first should Putz grounder into one of these angler infielders. The 1-0 pitch in for a called strike. Count now evens out 1-1. That is the 61st pitch we've seen from McFarland. Of course, he's given up the 2 hits this inning, but he's done a really nice job coming in to relieve Tanner Witt. McFarland himself looking to close out his own 4 innings of work. Came in the 5th inning. Fouls 1 off, and it's 1-2.
By the way, this is the 23rd game of the Harwich Mariners season. Brock Wilken has recorded 2 or more hits in 10 of them. Remarkable, remarkable number.
For a lot of guys, it's impressive just to get hits in that many games.
Yeah.
You talk about multi-hit games. 1-2. Just high. Could not find the strike zone. 2-2.
Yeah, good job there from Putz, laying off the borderline pitch. Don't want to chase one and pop out, because it's one of the worst case scenarios. You don't even have a productive out, brings home the tying run.
Ball to the infield, or ball to the outfield, pop fly to the outfield, really just get it over these infielders' heads. 2-2. Hit, that's get past Soretti. Kavanaugh comes home to score. Wilkins charging around third. He comes home to score. The Mariners lead in the top of the 8th inning.
What a piece of hitting from Carter Putz. Just sends it up the middle, just past the dive of Soretti. It was a good effort. Ball hit softly, so having to charge it were the outfielders. It wasn't fielded cleanly. An aggressive send to bring Brock Wilkin home, and it pays off. How about Harwich coming from behind late to take a lead? Where have we seen that before this season?
This Harwich team has shown a lot of heart in games recently this season when it comes to giving up runs and being able to respond. Couldn't respond after the run came